So, hey guys, this time I wanted to do something with Angular material, so I ended up building this little post application. So we can check the post. It will open this modal. Don't forget about the styling. It's just to show you, but we can close and we can do something. Okay. I didn't go all the way finishing this because, well, I have work to do, but I will show you how you could use this thing. And well, you can close here, you can add some posts. These are the cards I will show you. I wanted just to make something with Angular materials so you can see how to integrate these components and how to add it. So this is home, especially this is home and this is the form, the add post form. Okay, we can click here, but it will not take us here. It will check for the validation. So if we say something and other thing, then we can go here. Okay, but also we can click here next and we will get this choose a file. We can click. Okay, we can choose some files, maybe this one. Okay, and it will show you a little preview, nothing special, okay, of the image. So I will do this right now, and let's go to the code. Oh, first of all, I will show you how to install. Let's go to Angular material. Nope. Well, Angular material. Oh, okay. Angular material, and let's click get started. Okay. First, on your Angular installation, you will need to run npm install with Angular material, Angular CDK, and Angular animations. Okay, or use yarn in case you use it or you have it. So that's the first step. Okay, you can also use ng add Angular material, and it will add it will make all the changes in the configuration. But you can either do this npm install, the yarn, this installation using either npm or yarn, or this ng. So the second step is to configure animations. Okay, so they say import browser animations module into your application to enable animation support. Okay, so we need this browser animation module in our app module config. Well, not config. Let me close all this shit. And let's go to nope, app component, app.module module. Oh, okay, so I'm using also Angular Fire because why not? And okay, so this is what we need here, this browser animations module inside or npm or I'm sorry, or app.module.ts. Okay, so I'm using also Angular Fire, as I said, with the bucket. In case you don't know how to use the bucket to upload files, check out the Angular file uploads code review. You can download the repo also. The link is in the description. So I think that's it for that. Okay, a browser module. okay, is down here. Okay, just add it into your imports, and let's continue. What do I have here? Oh, my videos I was testing. Okay, so animations are in. You can disable animations when importing new animation module. You can follow this. Step 3, import the component modules. Import the engine module for each component you want to use, but I will show you how you will see in most in most applications. So I have this shared, okay, the share folder. Inside I have the material, okay. So inside the material I have an index.ts that is importing everything from material module. TS, that is this one, okay. So this file index.ts is just importing that, well, exporting that, and we get this material module.ts, that this is where we are going to import all the components we want to use. So in this case I have math dialog module, math progress spinner, the stepper module that is a form. So let's check out the components. Well, not this. Let's come here and let's control click. It will open another tab. So let's go to layout. Maybe let's go to stepper. So in case you want to add something, this is a stepper. So you can come here into the examples. You can click here this view source, okay, and you can copy this, and it will give you the okay, this you will get this all this thing. So they have different examples depending on the component, but here is what you need to know. Okay, in order to import that, you need this math stepper module. So whenever you want to import something, come here to the API on each single component, and you will see what you need to import. So we need to import math stepper module from Angular material. Okay, that we are importing that here, math stepper module from Angular material. Okay, we add that to these constant modules, and we import and export these modules. Okay, we use this class material module. So the index.ts that we have outside is what is getting everything inside this folder that includes the material. So this index.ts is just saying, okay, I'm going to export to everything that is above me this material module, okay, and index.ts is doing the same. So we also have the share modules that since I'm using load children and lazy loading the components, I'm using this share module to add all my filters and forms to the other components, and you will see how I'm getting that. So let's make this a little more clear. So material index.ts is exporting the material module that is inside this material folder. Okay, so material folder, in case you get the material folder, you will get everything inside. Okay, and in case you come here to the share, you will get do this index everything inside this material, this share folder. And the modules, in case you want to add modules to your child routes, you need to import your modules here. So I'm exporting material module, that is the module that is inside my material. Okay, material module down here. Okay, and this still isn't used anywhere. Okay, so it's only exporting. It's only being exported as a bundle inside this share folder that includes our material or Angular material. Okay, you can see that I have also the filter, and I need also the router module. Also, I need the forms and the reactive forms module for my child routes. So this share folder will be shared, okay, to the other components. So I'm using a load children. Then I'm getting this. I'm adding these routing modules, and inside my module, the name of my component, that module.ts, I'm going to import this share module that is coming from share, that is a folder above, that is this share that inside has Angular material, okay, and inside has also all the modules I want to share with the rest of my components. Okay, so I was in that post, right? A post module. I'm adding this share module, and I'm importing this share module. Okay, so also I'm importing writing forms here because if I'm not mistaken, although I shouldn't need this. Okay, I will check that later. So this, I think I can comment it out. Also this one, and forms should work because I'm importing everything from my share module that includes the form modules and the reacting forms module. Okay, so let's save that. Okay. What else? So, okay. Let's come to form field. And from the API, you will see what you need to import for what, okay, in order to get this. But this is a little tricky. In order to get this the form field, you will need to import also the math input, okay. So sorry, my throat is so you will come here into your material module and import your math input module and your math form field. Okay, also I have the math card module. Let's take a look at that. Card API math card module. That is this card that we have here. Okay, so that's the setup for that. I know it's a little complicated, but you will get this repo to use it as a structure. So this is how you will see most of the applications. In case you work as a freelancer or you want to work as a freelancer, you will see most of the times these share modules importing everything to be shared, and inside that, in case you use material, you just need to add this material inside its own directory, export that to this share folder, and the share folder will export everything else to the rest of the application. So okay, let's take a look at this. So okay, let me go back before anything. So that is the last part, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the include a team. So all that is you can create a separate engine module that imports all of the Angular material components that you will use in your application. So it's everything inside this material, okay? This material module. That's the part that I just described. So include a theme we need to import this inside our style CSS or style CSS in case you're using Sass. That is above here. Okay, and that's the thing. You should get your Angular material working with just that, and now you can use it to build what you want. So let's actually come here into main. I have the dialog. So the dialog is this one, okay, but that will come last. So let's go to main component. Oof, it's a lot. Okay, let's skip this Firestore because you already know how to use Firestore. In case you don't know how to use Firestore with, Firebase with Angular, check out my other code reviews. And as I said, you can download the videos. The videos, or the videos if you can, if you want, and the repos. Okay. So let's go to main component. Okay, so I will show you how you can add this, how you can use them. Okay, so this is mat form field that you know that we are importing this mat form field, and we are importing this mat input inside our material. Okay, that are this is a pain, but mat input and mat form. Okay, so you just need to add this as regular HTML components or elements, and in case you need to use this input with this little because this is this one, okay, with this little tag that you just need to add this mat input. In this case I'm using ng model, this search text, because I'm using the filter. So I'm using this filter by, that is the pipe you can see here. So let's go there. Okay, first let me add another one, not here at post. So second post, let me get some, just to get some content there. Next, choose a file, this one, and let me open this. I'm using the exact same thing I used with my upload, with my Angular file upload to Firestore. Okay, I'm using the same application, well, not this application, but the same things I had there. I just copied that, and I added some little things, but you will get this repo, so you will see. Let's finish this post. You will see that I'm adding the progress, and it's creating a post. Wait a moment, and I have this. As I said, I didn't go that into the design. Okay, so you will see that this is breaking this part, but I don't mind. So okay, the form worked, so we didn't need the other thing that the React Forms module that I commented out, because it's everything on the share folder. So if I go to sec, it's not sec but sec, okay, so you can see that I'm filtering that, and if I go to post I get both. If I go to first I get this first one. Okay. In case you haven't used pipes, okay, so we need to add this with the name of the pipe, and what we want to use as the filter. Okay, so I'm using this key up, filter by the search text that is going, this function is here, and I'm getting where is my I'm using this behavior subject, okay, to pass what we are getting with this get posts and creating this size or filling this size that is the array I'm using. The posts, okay, is checking the posts, and why did it? Okay, so it's going inside this post and checking if there's something that matches this. Okay, and simply it returns from that array what matches the what we are typing. So this is the actual function. Data any is Firestore get post, subscribing to post, and passing a null to the behavior subject. I'm getting these items is going to be posts. Okay, that items in this case is an observable, but although I didn't added that. And this post is going to be clear right now on each iteration, and I'm just adding that. So where is the function? And the filter is getting the size of the array, and as I think it's getting the size of array. I'm not too much into filters, so you will need to take a look at these too, but as far as I know, that is how it's working. Also, on the filter, that is the you need to import pipe and pipe transform from Angular core. I added underscore in order to use this underscore. So this filter pipe is implementing the pipe transform. So for the items and search text, okay, if items is not if items doesn't exist or is null, return an empty array. If search text is found, return the item. So this is the function that is going to add the items, is going to filter the items, get the item that is inside the, well, that is going to be a search text, and we are going to return item that title, that is the title is property inside the collection in Firebase, okay, inside the post. To lowercase, we return everything that includes in lowercase the search text. That's all, and we return the items, and that's it. So that is filtering. So it's doing it on each key up. So that clears that. Let's go to no at post main. Let's keep with main. So this is simple. We use matcard with an I'm using the same thing. I just copied that. That is inside this card. So you come here and click the view source. You copy this and you get what you need. Okay. Also here you can see that there's nothing important on the TS. And well, you can use this as a styling. So I'm just getting the post from the posts, and this is going to be filtered by the search text that we have up there, and I'm just adding the matcard header as the title. So the filter is checking for this title, okay. So and the image, matcard image, the source is going to be the post image, and you can change the alt, the content is the actual content. So this is the title, this is the image, and this is the content, and these are the action buttons that Matcar actions, the button that when we click this check post, this mat button, it will trigger this open dialog passing the post. Okay, that the post is the object we are working with. Okay, so let's continue with that. Okay, and delete post is just deleting the post, passing the post ID, and deleting using the file reference is the same function that I used on the Angular file uploads. It's the same function. Okay, so I'm just focusing here on the material part of the front end. Okay, so when I click, let's click this one, check post. Okay, I am getting this, and I can close it. Return from defined because I don't know. I will need to check that. So if I do something, I return the post. Okay, so it's using this open dialog. Let's go to make component TS. Let's find open dialog. Okay, so this is the lead post. It's getting the ID and the image file path or file reference. Sorry. And this is the open dialog. Okay, I had some issues with this because let me show you. Let's go to modal, Control G modal, dialog, examples. Okay, they say pick one. Okay, so you say this and you get the data passed to the from the component, the modal, the dialog, to the other component, the child component. So this is how this will be implemented. We need to create a component. In this case, it's a component called dialog. Just run a ng generate component, call it whatever you want, because you will need the reference to HTML and also to a CSS in case you want to make changes there. So you will need this, that is important, the component on init and inject from Angular core, the mat dialog ref and mat dialog data from Angular material. Okay, you need to import these ones here, and inside your shared, let me close this, inside your share, you need to import mat dialog module. Okay, they say here just import, sorry, not here, API, just import mat dialog module. Okay, we already did that on the share. So here, if you click the view source, let's close this. If you click the view source, they just show you this, and they show you on the TS all what you need in order to get it working. They will add this component here because you know how most of the documentations are, that just show you the basic stuff, how to do it all, you know, together. But this is the function that is being called the open dialog that I have. Why is closing these tabs? I don't know. So let's go to main component. I don't know, it's closing that shit. So this is the open dialog that we are getting. Okay, so let's go back. Fuck this. What was I? Oh, the dialog. Okay. And they add all the stuff here, but of course you want some kind of modularity in this thing, so you need only to import mat dialog ref and mat dialog data in the component you just created with ng generate component. Okay, inside, I use it inside main, but it's not, I have it in main. No, oh, okay, yeah, that's a problem. I will show you. But this is created by default. We create this dialog component, so I did ng generate dialog component, and we pass this constructor that is the same. You just need to copy the same shit here. That is here. So this is the part, the constructor and a no click. Okay, the constructor and a no click, and this is calling the close. Okay, when we click outside, as far as I know. So let's come back here. Okay, let's check pause. We can click outside and it returns nothing. Okay, so this is the first part. You create your component for the dialog and you add the mat dialog reference, you import the mat dialog reference and the mat dialog data, and add the constructor and the no on click. Now that, because you will need to do something inside your app module. Currently, as I know, as I was checking, it doesn't work with lazy loading. With lazy loading the components, we load children, okay, it doesn't work. So what I want to do, or what I needed to do, wasn't working. So in this case, I imported the dialog component, that is the component I need, okay, and I declare the component, and I use these entry components to add the dialog component, okay, because it will not work inside the, or as I was trying, it wasn't working inside the, this is inside the main. Okay, so as you can see, inside this main I don't have anything here. I don't have the dialog component, but inside the component, as the dialog component is declared inside the app module.ts, the main app module.ts, and is marked as an entry component, I can call the dialog component from whatever, whichever it is. So I'm calling this, okay, the component, but I'm not lazy loading it. I'm just using it inside this component, so I need to import it inside this main component that is being lazy loaded. Okay, so that's the problem. This is being lazy loaded, and this thing doesn't work with lazy loading. So here inside, once I have all that, once I have the dialog component that is exporting that the dialog, the dialog, I can use now my open dialog. I'm passing the post object, so let me come here, and because I know it's going to open in the same freaking tab, so let's go to main, and I'm using this open dialog, that is the function that is inside. Okay, I try to explain as inside the the thing is that every time I click something, it's changing the freaking and it's fucking with my head. So open dialog is double click. This fucking shit. I hate. Okay, so let's recap. When I click open dialog, I pass the post. Okay, and open dialog is inside my component. Open dialog. So this open dialog receives the object, the complete object inside the post. Okay, this is the object coming from Firebase, and we create this dialog reference that is going to be this dialog open, the component with the width in percentage, and the data here is the data we want to pass to the model. So now we click the modal and we get the first post, the image, and this description or text. So that's how we are passing the data inside that. Okay, so dialog after close, we need to subscribe this in order to get the result. So it's not getting anything as far as I know when I click outside. So it's calling on the find. When I click do something, that is the action button. No, no. Sorry. That action button is inside here. So let's recap again. I'm passing the post with open dialog. Then let's close this shit. I'm using this, passing the object, and creating the instance of the dialog component with the width I want. I'm passing this data attribute or property, the post, that is going to be the post object. Okay, and I can access that here in the dialog component HTML using my dialog title and my dialog content. This data post, okay, that didn't work. Okay, data post title. So how that is working? Freaking hell. Because I'm getting data, inside data there's something called post, and inside this post is all the information I have, or I'm retrieving from Firebase. So that's the way: a data post and title, data post and image, data post and content. Okay, when we click this close, it's going to call this on no click. So when we click check and we click close, it's going to call on defined because I'm not passing anything. So let's say I pass data post, not like that, but like this. The no click is inside my thing here. So let's come back here and check post, close. It's also retrieving undefined. The no click is receiving nothing. There's a little problem here. No, I think I know what is going on. So then after close, we need to subscribe to that. So we're not passing anything. Let's console log. Dialog was closed. So when I click, come on, check post and I close, dialog was closed. Okay, so this should be getting the result. Let's come back here and let's go to things and click and then why is okay. So I'm using pick one. If I say no thanks, it doesn't return anything, right? They're not even okay. The dialog was closed and it's only that. So let's see. They're passing subscribe result. If I type something, an animal, bear, I don't know. If I say no thanks, it closes, just closes that. Okay. Okay, so they're doing essentially the same as I'm doing. Well, I copy that from there, so. Well, maybe you could add something here. So when the dialog is closed, you know when it's closed. And I don't know, refetch the information. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But you should get some display, but it's never read. So result, I'm not sure what is coming from because they don't even. Okay, I think I know why. Okay, so I click check post. When I click do something, what? Ah, what did I do? Okay, I deleted that shit. Check post, do something. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. So yeah, I know that was. So, in case result is empty, it will return nothing, but in case you pass something into the clause, it will return the information you are passing. Okay, so no delete post no. So do something will return all the information. Okay, to the component. So this is how you can return the information on clause, and this result will get this. In this case, this is a object with the ID, title, content, image, and file reference from Firebase. And yeah, that's how you will get the information. How we're getting 41 minutes. So that's that. So yeah, on a click, it's going to just console that, the close, and it's not going to pass anything as far as I know. And this mat dialog close, you can add the data. In this case, it's the data post to receive that. Okay, so the dialog will send that to the component, and you can access that inside your component. Okay, so that is how the dialog works. Let's continue with the stepper. So we can now add another post. The stepper is kind of simple. Component. I'm using the form control, the validators, and the service, the Firestore service. I'm creating a form control for each wait, didn't I? Okay. So we decide if we want to make this horizontal or vertical. Let's go to the stepper. Boop. So we decide if we want this overview horizontal or vertical. Okay, depending on this mat horizontal or mat vertical. So this linear is going to tell this linear is going to tell if this part needs to be finished in order to access this one. Okay, so this part is checking the validation, is using the reactive forms, and is checking for these control names, okay, to be valid. If it's not valid, I'm just going to disable this button next. You can see that I cannot click, and also it's going to say, okay, so this sheet isn't finished, so I won't let you pass to the other part. Okay, and let's go to the main component. Why the main fucking component? It's changing my this fucking shit. Okay, so in this case I'm using two forms, the details and the cover with the mask stepper. I didn't want to add the regular forms because they are plain simple to use. So this fucking thing is oh, it's changing the last one. Why the fuck is changing the last one? Why the fuck is changing one? Ah, this fucking shit. Can I open my? What the fuck is? Ah, this fucking shit. Every fucking update. Okay, so main component add post. Okay, so I'm using two forms, public. I mean, details and cover. Detail has title and content, and cover has only cover. So the form group is going to be details, and it's checking the title and the content. Okay, just like regular Angular reactive forms validation. And the other one is using just cover and is also checking for the validation to be required. And that's all for that. So in case I add, let's go to third post. Let's get this lorem ipsum. Well, let's get this. Copy and paste. So I can now, even if I don't click here, I can click here. Okay, the form is marked as validated. The first part, this one is marked as validated, and we can come here. But I cannot click here because this is not a valid file. So let's click here, let's click this one, open. It takes a second, but it opens the little preview. So how the preview is working, I'm using this handle input for the event to get the document, just like this is the same as the Angular file uploads. Okay, it's the same. I'm just adding this this thing. So no, this is not the finished post. In case the form is valid, we change this to the finished post. So if percentage, if image URL, let's go to add post. On form changes. Of course, you need to subscribe to the form changes in order to see the changes in either in the console or in the if you're typing. Okay, and for that you will need to call this on form changes, check for form changes on any form. In this case I'm where is details. So this is checking for the changes. These two fields are specific for the details. Okay, so I'm using this form subscription. These details, that is the form, value changes every time something changes in the inputs. We subscribe to that, we get the values, and this on form changes, we pass the values that are changing. That this is on form change. From this data, we get both of the properties that are changing. So we just pass this title and this content to that, and to be that. So you will be you can get this when you send the data. You will need to get this from the distant title and the content from the distant content are the values that are changing inside the form. So I'm consoling here. So let's see. Or let's check that later. So I'm checking this one that is using the file read. Where is this thing? So I'm using this handle input. Okay, so it was this one. I'm using this handle input to get this file because I'm using this. It's getting this file list it always returns a file list. We need to check for that file list, and I'm consoling the image. The image is being well, it's not being shown. Well, we'll see that later. But this is the actual thing that is used, that is making this little preview, this shitty preview. So I'm using reader from new file reader. I think I'm importing that. No, it's just a JavaScript function. New file reader, okay, and this reader is going to use read as data URL. We pass the image, the first image inside this file list. Even though it's just only one, we pass that, this image 0. In case you want different sets, you will need to say for each image or map, of course, your file list, and run the read as data URL. And when it's loaded, this image URL, that is something that I have here, is going to be the result of the reader, the image in this case. So that is checking, this one is checking if image URL is set, meaning there's an image loaded. I'm just setting the name, and I'm adding this preview, that is this one. In case I change this, oh fuck, well, it's uploading. So you get the idea. Also, you will get the files, so don't worry about it. In a way, it's going to be a little more difficult to use the Angular material if you are used to use just the forms or any other thing with Angular. Angular material adds like 2 or 3 more steps into whatever you want to do, so you need to keep that in mind. Is already 1 hour 52. Okay, 52 minutes. Okay. Of course, you can add the lazy loading Angular lazy loading. I used to use this one, ng lazy load. It's pretty good. You just need to surround your images. Well, maybe I will make a video about this, because I have an older version that is using lazy loading. But yeah, in case you know, if images are too big. So I think that's it for that, and I'm just sending the data to the Firestore function I have. Let me show you the service I have here. Okay, it's the same service. I just copied it. You can see even this. I copied that from my repo, my Angular file uploads repo. So it's the same thing. I didn't change anything. Just remove some comments and that's it. So let's take a final look. So let me refresh this. And of course, you might be asking how you are sending these two things, blah 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 blah. How are you sending this? Okay, as I said, with Angular, I need to set these two, as I showed you before, to be the values of whatever changes, the input changes inside the form. using these value changes on the form I want to check. So that's how I'm getting the values. I'm building this object with the title and the content, and passing this image. That this image, okay, is the file list, and the service is checking for the first image and just that. So this is how I'm building the form and the function, passing this data object to the Firestore create post together with the image. It's the same thing as I did with the Angular file uploads code review. So it's not showing. Let me just so you can see on form changes. So let's say console dialog values. I'm so hungry right now. So this is going to be the last thing, I think. So you can see what it returns. It returns what is changing inside that form. Okay, so this is the details. Nope. And okay, you can see that it's getting all that. And this is being passed to some properties of the Angular class, and that's it. So we can delete the post. So I think that's it. That's all for this one, and if I have time, I will be recording some other one or two, I think. And I got a note and passport that I want to record as soon as I can. But since I'm using Angular material now, well, I just wanted to show you how you can add these little things and how you can work with these little components. So let me check if there's nothing more. No, so I think that's it. Yeah, so I think that's it, and well, see you on the next one.